Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Real Time, where we talk about the movies we like.
And the ones we don't.
I'm Molly,
And I'm Tyler.
and today we're going to be looking at the two other MCU movies that were released this year, 2025. We didn't get to these movies when they came out, but we're going to take care of them now. The first one being The Thunderbolts, or, with an asterisk, The New Avengers.
Yes. That is their name, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, so, now this is going to have spoilers for other entries in the MCU, like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Black Widow, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, I guess, Ant-Man and the Wasp. So, yeah, if you haven't seen those by now, well, I don't know what you're doing here.
Excuse me. Yeah, go watch those first, even though I didn't watch some of them. So I guess you don't have to.
Anyways, Thunderbolts stars Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova, the adopted sister of Natasha Romanoff, and our new Black Widow, I guess. She's joined by Sebastian Stan as Bucky Barnes, Steve Rogers' best friend, and now a congressman. We find that out in Captain America 4, which did release this year, but if the box office is anything to go by, not a whole lot of you saw that.
We did. Tyler made me.
It was mid.
Yeah.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus plays Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, who first made her appearance in the MCU in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, recruiting John Walker after he was disgraced after killing an unarmed terrorist, which is a weird sentence to say.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's basically working behind the scenes as a sort of evil Nick Fury, taking these people with extraordinary abilities and bringing them together to form a team.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And just doing other nefarious government things.
Yes.
Lewis Pullman plays Bob, or the Sentry, which is the second time Lewis Pullman has played a character named Bob, so that's kind of funny.
Yeah. I guess he just fits the character type of Bob.
He's just a Bob.
Yeah.
David Harbour returns as Alexei Shostakov, Yelena's adopted father, and the Red Guardian, the Soviet Union's equivalent to Captain America back during the Cold War.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice.
What a joy to see this guy back. And it'll be also great to see David Harbour once again on Stranger Things, 3 years after the last season. Come on, Netflix.
Yeah, taking a while.
Wyatt Russell plays John Walker, the man who was chosen to be Captain America after Steve Rogers hung up the shield and decided to be old. He got the job in Falcon and the Winter Soldier after Sam Wilson declined it, and he got the position taken away after he killed an unarmed terrorist who he thought just killed his best friend.
Yeah, I guess that's a little a gray area.
Plus, these terrorists were also super soldiers, so, unarmed, so to speak, with them is kind of a nebulous term.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hannah John Kamen plays Ava Starr, or Ghost, as she was known in Ant-Man and the Wasp. She was a victim of an experiment done by her father, and now she can't really control her tangibility, so she spent her whole life being experimented on by S.H.I.E.L.D. and became a quote-unquote villain so that she can find a way to make her condition better, which she does end up getting better when Janet came back from the quantum realm and did some sort of something with another. It's been a while since I've seen Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, I have never seen it, so I don't know.
Olga Kurylenko comes back to play Antonia Dreykov, or Taskmaster, and look, she just gets shot in the face in her first scene. So they still don't really do much with her character in this movie. I figured they would probably, actually do something, but they didn't. So that sucks.
Yeah, she doesn't get much screen time.
No. Well, that's all our major players. So let's get into this. What were your general thoughts on Thunderbolts?
Well, my general thoughts was, it was all right. It was pretty good. I had a nice time watching it, I guess.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was an interesting movie with some likable characters all dealing with their own personal demons and really coming together to help each other. you know, in the comics, the Thunderbolts is a team of anti-heroes and sometimes villains brought together by General Thunderbolt Ross. That's the name. And think of them as sort of the Marvel's equivalent to the Suicide Squad from DC, so to speak.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know, in the comics, they've had Red Hulk, Elektra, the Punisher, Deadpool on the team. Here, it's more characters that are more known to the general audience of the MCU. You got Bucky, you got Yelena, John Walker, Ghost, which is an interesting choice. She only appeared in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and she hasn't appeared in anything besides these two movies, but she will be in Avengers Doomsday, so that's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So when I heard this movie was coming out, I thought they were gonna get John Bernthal's Punisher back after his show was canceled. He was great on that and Daredevil, and he came back to do it again on Daredevil Born Again, and he is going to be in the next Spider-Man movie, so that's nice, which makes sense. Punisher was originally a Spider-Man villain.
Yeah, yeah.
Or maybe they bring in Deadpool, and with General Ross having been revealed to be the villain of the next Captain America movie at the time, I thought, okay, they're probably going to turn him into Red Hulk and use him in this. I got half of that right.
Yeah, yeah.
But the team we got ended up being pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. It was pretty good.
Yeah. There was this whole push from Marvel when Falcon and Winter Soldier was on the air to try to make John Walker kind of an unlikable character, which they kind of did, but honestly, I always really saw him as a guy doing the best job he can with the position he's been given. Like, this guy is told he's going to be Captain America. That's a huge mantle to live up to.
Yes, it really is.
And it doesn't help that Sam and Bucky, kind of don't really give him a chance when he just starts. So, yeah, he's going to be a bit frustrated with them. But this isn't about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This is about Thunderbolts. And from what we see of him in here, yeah, he's kind of a prick. But when you see where he's been, you understand why.
Yeah, you do.
Now, like I said, Bucky, he's a congressman now, and honestly, if more of our congressmen and House representatives were as badass as Bucky, I'd probably have a lot more respect for our legislative branch of the government.
Yeah, that would be much cooler.
But instead, we got a bunch of lame old guys and women who I don't even know our own congressmen or representatives. Not at all. Do you know our senator?
No, I don't.
Do you know our governor?
Yes.
Oh, who's that?
Give me a minute. It'll come to me. It's Mike Keogh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce his name.
Yeah, that's how it looked when we read it.
I knew his last name, but I couldn't think of his first name, so yeah, we looked it up.
Yeah, Governor of Missouri, Mike Kehoe. I'm not even sure if I voted for him this last election cycle. I don't know who I voted for. For the most part, it was just a bunch of names.
Yeah. All right, let's get back on track.
That's probably not good, but
okay. Where were we?
Yeah, Congressman Bucky. So he's sort of working behind the scenes with this other committee to try to impeach Valentina because she's obviously the bad guy.
Yes, obviously.
And she's just trying to eliminate all loose ends that she had working for her, which leads to the Thunderbolts and the New Avengers getting formed in the end. So it's kind of funny how things work.
Yeah, kind of funny.
Yeah. Throughout this movie, Yelena especially and Bob are dealing with depression, this feeling of loneliness, and just this utter feeling that their existence is meaningless, and they're trying to find purpose. And through this team and with each other, they do find some sort of meaning to their existence.
Yes, they do. Friendship.
Yeah. And I think it's also really nice that the main conflict of the movie is Sentry turning into Void and turning everyone black was kind of solved by the power of friendship. It works in context.
The power of friendship solves everything.
Yes, it does. Now, let's get into some trivia for this movie because why the heck not? All right. So the man who created this entry, Paul Jenkins, gave his approval for Lewis Pullman, his performance of the character. So that's cool.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Olga Kurylenko was kind of peeved that her character died in her first scene, especially after she moved to Atlanta with her children to devote more time to the character.
Yeah, I'd be pretty mad too.
Yeah, who wants to live in Atlanta?
Yeah, that's true.
The costuming department was also disappointed by this because they really liked the suit they made for her, which it is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the skull mask looks. I'm going to say it looks kind of cooler than the one in Black Widow.
Sure. I don't remember.
Let's see. Okay, so Florence Pugh jumped off the second highest building in the world, the Merdeka 118 in Malaysia. She did it all by herself.
Oh. I wouldn't do that, but okay.
Disney actually had to be convinced to let her do that, of course, because the insurance for that would be
Yeah, pretty high.
Okay, so originally Stephen Yeun was cast as Bob before Lewis Pullman replaced him. The writers and actors strike of 2023 delayed the production so that he had to drop out because of prior scheduling conflicts, which would have made the line where Bob says that he's invincible kind of funny.
Yeah, I guess it would have.
Austin Abrams and Dev Patel were also up for the role. Io Debris was initially chosen to play Mel before Geraldine Viswanathan was cast, but she dropped out because of filming commitments.
Yeah.
James Gunn was interested in directing a movie focusing on a team, which Kevin Feige said that he could do if Guardians of the Galaxy did well, which, as we all know, it did.
Yes, it did.
But with the surprise success of Guardians, James Gunn got stuck doing those movies, so Thunderbolts got put on the back burner for a while.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But now James Gunn is at DC with Suicide Squad, Superman, Creature Commandos, Peacemaker, all that stuff. So I guess he got to do something like that in the end.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
The director, Jake Schreier, really wanted Man-Thing to become part of the roster, but he didn't know that he had previously appeared in Werewolf by Night 3 years earlier. But he figured that it was for the best that he wasn't included. Probably would have upset the power balance a bit too much.
I didn't understand a word that you just said.
Okay. Let me see. Lewis Pullman wanted the name to be changed. The name Bob to be changed.
Oh, yeah.
Considering he just played Bob in Top Gun Maverick. But thing is, Sentry's name in the comics is Bob.
He just plays Bob's.
Okay, so Yelena's her subplot on Hawkeye with her trying to kill Clint Barton was going to be a plot point regarding her relationship with Valentina, but they just cut it out. I guess they figured they're already having this movie require you to watch a whole bunch of stuff, so another thing probably wouldn't help much either.
Yeah, because I didn't watch Hawkeye either, so.
Yeah, at least watch the last episode with me and Alex.
I mean, I was present, but I don't think I was paying attention.
The lights were on, but nobody was home.
Yeah, exactly.
The post-credit scene was originally going to build up Kang the Conqueror, but that whole thing went out the window with Jonathan Majors getting fired.
Yeah.
Another post-credit scene would have had Baron Zemo from Captain America: Civil War and Falcon and the Winter Soldier having been behind everything, which makes sense. He was part of the Thunderbolts in the comics too.
All right.
Um, and that's about it. This is a pretty underappreciated MCU entry that I really think should have gotten a lot more attention when it came out. It was fun. It was funny. It was heartwarming. It was basically everything you want in a superhero movie.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It was all right. Yeah.
But that post-credit scene I talked about, well, it got changed to something else. Something teasing a certain foursome family.
I wonder who that is.
We're going to get into that one next. Just hold on. All right, so the history of the Fantastic Four in movies is, well, it's not great, to be completely honest with you. So let's get into that real quick because, that's just standard for this sort of thing by now.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, but yeah, anyways. So the Fantastic Four was originally made in the 1960s by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, and they became Marvel's first family. Pretty sure they were formed before the Avengers did, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. I believe you.
And the first superhero in Marvel was actually the Human Torch. Not this Human Torch, but a different one that fought with Captain America in World War II. The one from the Fantastic Four is actually the third Human Torch. It's weird.
Okay, yeah.
But in 1994, a Roger Corman produced Fantastic Four was made and not released.
Okay.
It was basically only made so that the studio could hold on to the rights for the characters. You occasionally see it getting sold as a bootleg at conventions, and you could find it on YouTube. It's not great. It's not a good movie. I don't like it. Let's move on.
I've never seen it.
Next, in 2005 and 2007, we had the Tim Story duology, starring Chris Evans as the Human Torch. And these are... Look, I got kind of a soft spot for them. They're not good, but I kind of like them.
Yeah, for me, it's been way, way too long since I've seen them, so I really don't remember a thing about them.
The best thing I can say about them, though, is Michael Chiklis as the Thing. First off, they made a practical suit for him to wear, which he insisted on. When he met Stanley, he introduced himself as Ben Grimm, which got him the part. The man was already a Fantastic Four fan, so that was also helpful. And honestly, he's just great as the Thing. I hope he comes back in Secret Wars or something.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But the duology left off on Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer, which there was a rumor going around that the Silver Surfer was going to get a spin-off movie, but that never happened. Next, we got Josh Tranks' 2015 Abomination that most people call Fan Four Stick. It is grimdark, overly dark adaptation of the source, and it's not good. I don't like this movie. It is one of the worst superhero movies I've ever seen, if not the worst. Okay, it is. I'm gonna say it. It's ass. Okay, it is just ass, and it's crap dripping from that ass. I could say more. I'm not going to. We got another movie to get into, a good one. But it is kind of funny that Michael B. Jordan would go on to be in a more successful Marvel movie with Black Panther, so that's cool.
Yeah, that's good for him at least.
And if you really want to feel some catharsis after watching Fan Four Stick, just watch Whiplash and Miles Teller gets verbally abused by J.K. Simmons. It's cool.
Yes, yeah, it is.
Now, this year's Fantastic Four First Steps is, well, they finally got it right.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
This is exactly the movie I've been waiting for. Okay, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby's vision has been brought to life, and I'm glad I was able to see it.
Yeah, I'm not one to be, as big of a fan as of these movies, but it was pretty good.
Now, some people were wanting John Krasinski to appear as Reed Richards, as he did in Doctor Strange 2. I was kind of hoping for that too, because we didn't get to see too much of him. But Pedro Pascal ended up being pretty alright in his own right.
Yeah, he did.
Vanessa Kirby plays Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, and she plays the role well. She's she cares for her family. She's protective of the world and the people on it, and she's great.
Yeah, she's pretty cool.
Evan Moss Bachrach plays Ben Grimm, the Thing, and this was one of the things that I was hoping this movie would get right. The Thing is one of my favorite Marvel heroes. He's up there with Daredevil, Spider-Man, Moon Knight, Captain America for me. So it was very important to me that they got this character right, and they did. He's dependable. He's loyal. He's a hopeful guy. We get past the we skip past the origin story more or less. They show a montage in the beginning, but we get past his whatever angst he feels about being transformed into this. You get a bit of it here and there, but it's not the focus of his character because he's already past that. Mm-hmm. He's Jewish, and the actor playing him is also Jewish, so that's good.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Evan Moss Bachrach previously played Microchip on Netflix's The Punisher, but that's in the main MCU universe, so it makes sense that he's playing another character here.
Yeah.
Joseph Quinn plays the hot-headed Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, and he's, well, what can you say? He's a bit of a man-child. He's kind of a goofball. But when it comes down to it, he's able to step up and handle the problem that he's given.
Yeah, more of the comic relief character, but pretty cool.
Plus, it's great to see Joseph Quinn do more stuff after Stranger Things.
Yes, it is.
Ralph Ineson plays Galactus, the Eater of Worlds, and honestly, what a great voice to go with his character.
Yeah, I do have a soft spot for his voice.
It is a sexy voice.
Yeah, it is.
But the cool thing is, Galactus, well, Ralph Ineson, I should say, wore an actual practical costume for the movie. He was walking around miniatures and sets like that to, actually be Galactus. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Well, we got to see all the suits when we went to Comic-Con this year.
Yes, we did. I saw the suits. And the little robot guy was there.
Herbie.
Yeah, Herbie.
Julia Garner plays Shalabal, the Silver Surfer. Now, a lot of people were upset that it's a woman Silver Surfer, but there has been a woman Silver Surfer in the comics before, so this doesn't really matter to me too much.
No, and I don't care. So
Natasha Lyonne plays Rachel Rosman, Ben's sort of love interest at the Jewish school.
Yes, yeah, she's in that for a little bit.
Paul Walter Hauser plays Harvey Elder, the Mole Man, the one of the lesser known Fantastic Four villains, but still entertaining in this one.
Yeah, pretty entertaining.
Matthew Wood is the voice of Herbie. Most people know him better as General Grievous from Star Wars.
Yes, I do know him from there.
And we get another character in this, but we'll save him for the end, for the post-credits scene. So, what's going on in this movie? Galactus is going to eat Earth, but he tells the Fantastic Four that if they give up Reed and Sue's kid, Franklin Richards, he'll spare the Earth. He wants Franklin so that he can pass on the power cosmic to him, so that he can stop doing this job of having to eat planets to cure his hunger.
He wants to retire as a planet eater.
Yeah. And he thinks this child, who has the power cosmic, as it turns out, is the perfect replacement. Now, in the comics, Franklin Richards is one of the most, if not the most, powerful characters in Marvel, so it makes sense that Galactus is going after him.
Yeah, I guess so.
But they're not going to let that happen, so they decide to come up with a plan to basically stop Galactus.
Yes, a plan.
Now, what were your general thoughts on this movie?
Again, this one, it was just alright. As I've mentioned several times, I'm not the biggest fan of Marvel or DC, so my feelings are probably going to be more in the middle than, too over the top. But it was fine. It was enjoyable.
Yeah, like I said, this was the Fantastic Four movie I've been waiting for around 20 years at this point, because Fantastic Four was one of the first comics I ever read, so this really does mean a lot to me.
Yes, it does.
And this does it well. I like how I like the aesthetic and the setting of this movie. It's like the 60s, but the future too.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that a lot.
I like how they were more willing to really embrace all the comic book aspects of this movie. Like for the most part, these characters look like they jumped off of the screen with Jack Kirby's designs, so that's really great.
Yeah, the costumes looked like the comic book, so pretty cool.
And I like the I also I'm speaking is hard. I'm not gonna say I'm the biggest fan of Reed Richards, because I'm a Doom guy, so I just have to talk crap on Reed Richards. But I do like his conflict of really trying to connect with people. He's always had something of a problem with that in the comics, so that was nice to see that brought to screen.
Yeah, sure.
And some people may say that they get tired of Pedro Pascal and him being in everything. Nah, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I don't really care.
The man's a good actor. He's very talented. I loved him on The Mandalorian and The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. He's great there.
Yeah, that was good.
So I have no problem with him being in things. He can still do things. Still stick around and do things as long as he wants.
Yeah, sure.
People want to say he's using his anxiety to grope women. Look, I don't know enough about all that to really make any point either way. But it was a thing that was going around when this movie came out.
Man, I don't know.
Because he was always seen just touching on and rubbing on Vanessa Kirby and all that, and some people thought it was weird. Other people were like, "Oh no, he has anxiety." I don't know. Yeah, look, if she's okay with it, then who cares?
I certainly do not know.
We got baby toys all over the ground.
Yeah, lots of baby toys. My goodness.
This kid's messy.
Yeah, that is true.
All right, so previous films and casts have shown their support for this movie, such as Michael Chiklis, Jessica Alba, Miles Teller, Kate Mara, Julian McMahon before he died, Ion Grufford. I don't know how to say his name, so I'm just doing my best. Doug Jones as well. They all were. Well, they basically they liked this new interpretation.
Yeah, I mean, and it's clear why. It's a good movie.
So at the end of the movie, there was a quote from Jack Kirby. It was, "If you look at my characters, you'll find me. No matter what kind of character you create or assume, a little of yourself must remain there." This is after the revelation that this movie takes place on Earth 828. Jack Kirby's birthday, August 28th.
Nice. I bet they did that on purpose.
Yeah, probably. Which you can always see Jack Kirby in his characters, especially the Thing. The two are very similar looking. I mean that as a compliment.
Okay. Sure.
Jack Kirby was one of the most influential comic book writers and artists of all time. Okay, he did incredible work for Marvel and DC with the Fourth World, with creating Darkseid, Orion, Highfather, all that. He was really big into far out cosmic stories and characters. So I think he and Stanley would be proud of this movie.
Yes, probably so.
Yeah, Kirby. Uh, he was more responsible for the Marvel universe than Stan Lee was. Some would say. I would also agree with that.
I do not know.
He had more of the ideas and more of the concepts for this world that ended up coming true. And well, not to say that Stan Lee didn't do any of that. He did. It's just Jack Kirby did it a bit more.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Let's see. So John Malkovich was supposed to be in this movie. He was the leader of those apes that Reed fights in the beginning of the movie, but his scenes got cut.
Oh, yeah. Oh well.
Which, funny thing about John Malkovich, he was supposed to play the Vulture in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4, but that didn't happen.
Yeah. It did not happen.
Okay, the girl that Johnny saves in the beginning was the director Matt Shankman's daughter.
Okay, yeah.
So other actors wanted for these roles, and there's a lot of them, because of course there is.
Yeah.
For Reed Richards, Adam Driver, Dev Patel, there he is again. Penn Badgley, Matt Smith, and Jake Gyllenhaal were approached for it. Smith and Gyllenhaal were both in Spider-Man focused movies, being Morbius or Far From Home, so wouldn't be their first rodeo in this world.
Yeah, that's true.
Christopher Abbott, Jamie Dornan, Rahul Kohli, and Tom Ellis also screen tested, which Tom Ellis could have been cool, going from Lucifer to Reed Richards.
Yeah, big change.
Emma Stone and Margot Robbie were offered the role of Sue Storm before Vanessa Kirby, but they both turned it down due to disagreements over salary.
Yeah.
Nicholas Galitzine was approached for the role of Johnny Storm. Daveed Diggs and David Krumholtz were considered for the role of Ben Grimm, which, yeah, Krumholtz could have been great. He's also Jewish.
Yeah.
And I heard during when She-Hulk was on that there's rumors that the Thing would show up on there and that he'd be played by Jason Segel. That could have been interesting.
Yeah, it could have been.
John Watts of the MCU Spider-Man trilogy was originally selected to direct, but he dropped out because of general burnout, and he wanted to take a break from comic book movies. Can't blame him for that.
Yeah, fair enough, for sure.
Let's see. Now, Evan Moss-Bachrach wasn't the only person to previously appear in an MCU movie. Ralph Ineson had a small role as a Ravager in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. He's on screen for a bit, and he has maybe 2 lines.
Yeah, so not the biggest role.
Natasha Lyonne appeared on What If season 3 as Howard the Duck and Darcy's daughter Birdie. Just go with it.
Okay, yeah.
She also appeared in Blade Trinity, which isn't in the MCU, but Wesley Snipes' Blade did appear in Deadpool and Wolverine, so adjacent.
Yeah, they're close, I guess.
So that's interesting. Also, Pedro Pascal was in Kingsman: The Golden Circle, which is a smaller Marvel property, but still all the same.
Yeah, I guess so.
Now, in terms of these two movies, which one did you prefer, Thunderbolts or Fantastic Four?
Maybe Fantastic Four.
Yeah, me too. It's definitely it's definitely a more interesting and engaging movie. Like my thing with Thunderbolts is they spend so much time trying to get out of that vault. It's like, all right, let's move on a little bit more. Let's get on with this.
Yeah, that does take a little bit of time.
That's really the biggest problem I have with it. Which, the rest of the movie is still pretty good on its own, but I don't know. Fantastic Four just scratched that itch that I really needed.
Yep, I can see that. I understand.
Now, what's up? What's next for these characters? Well, they're set to show up in Avengers Doomsday, where they're going to fight Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom, who makes his first appearance in the post-credit scene for this movie.
Yes, you don't really see his face. Could be anybody in that costume.
Yeah, could be, but Robert Downey Jr. Why not?
It's probably an extra because they didn't want to pay him to show up.
Well, supposedly that scene was directed by the Russo brothers for Doomsday.
Oh, so it may have been him.
Yeah, same thing with the post-credit scene for Thunderbolts.
Nice.
So we're probably going to see these scenes again, but with a little extra.
Yes, probably.
Yeah, we get to see Doom take on the Fantastic Four. I kind of hope Doom wins, but I know I shouldn't.
Yeah.
But that's going to happen next December. Hopefully it doesn't get delayed again.
We'll see, I guess.
Yes, we will. So, as for us, we'll see you next time.
See you next time.